It's Tuesday, November. No, it's not Tuesday. It's I'm gonna stay with this. It's Monday, November 19th, 2021. I usually cut, start again. Yeah. Anyway, um, I've found it's a little bit distracting, even just being a little bit self-conscious, and then thinking about all sorts of things that I really have no business about. I guess it's that exhibitionism sort of thing, where there's something about knowing that there might be somebody, but I'm not aware of them, so it's okay. It's like being up on stage and you got lights in your face, and you can do whatever you need to do up there. But if the lights come down, and then you can see the audience and see the audience seeing you, then all of a sudden that's a problem. But if you just knowing they're there but not being able to see them, that's okay. It's like the same thing, just as another example, I was thinking about it when I am out running. I will be in my little zone, my breathing rhythm, my pattern, my footfalls, everything's working. I will be breathing, even if it's been like, a long run, I've already put in a few miles, I will be even breathing a little bit shallow, because I'll just be working efficiently. And, if I'm in the right mood, and I'll just feel okay and I won't even think about it. But as soon as I start by, encounter other people or see other people, and it's like, oh, I'll be running past them in a little while, or they'll notice me in a little bit, and I'll have to look normal. Then all of a sudden I'm starting to think about myself and how I look and how they might think I look, or how they look, or how they might think that I look, that they look, and all of a sudden I find that I'm less coordinated because I'm thinking about how coordinated I might be or not be, or stuff like that. So the same thing goes with this. It's like all of a sudden I find that now that I know that there's at least one or two, maybe, I don't know how many people have just even checked and just seen what this was before going away forever. It's just like, oh yeah, this can be seen. So I should be a little bit mindful, I guess. But I will forget in time, or I'll learn to not care, or remember to not care, and just do whatever it is I do for whatever reason I do it, and which changes. But for now, it's like I'm a little bit distracted, and then also I'm distracted by the fact that I can check performance of the analytics of like what is going on behind the scenes, and like the traffic of the reach and the engagement and the retention on the audience, and all those little things that go on, the algorithm, which I just sort of became aware of. And it's like, oh, I thought I was just using YouTube as an outsourced hard drive space, a place to put my stuff on the cloud, so I didn't have to worry about physical systems here crashing or corrupting or going bad. It's just like I can just put it out there, and then I don't have to worry about it. And I guess it's I don't know if YouTube's getting anything out of this arrangement, or it's like I shouldn't even be saying their name because it might call attention to me somehow, and then you've got like, oh no, they're watching, and then it's like, oh no, he's using, and it's like, we'll just cut him off. He's not contributing. He's just using up space. But I just figure it's pretty unlimited. I don't even know what's hard. How much does it cost? Where does this go? Anyway, I don't know. And what are the resources it takes to save this and keep this just piece of whatever this is, which I won't even, yeah. But anyway, this is entertainment for me, and it doesn't hurt anybody, I guess. But it does take energy and resources from places which I don't understand. And does it give back? Does it contribute? Does it mean anything? I don't know. But it does help me organize my thoughts and helps me talk to myself to, and if that helps me in my daily, work and life and how I encounter the world, if I can encounter it better through my habits and things here, what I do out there is only made possible by what I do here and other places where it's just the public side is only made possible by the private side kind of thing. And so if people like what they see on the outside out there, it's only made possible by all the stuff that they don't see. So there is no more. What they get is what there is, and there is no more after that. Pressed for more, that leads to stress, and because I don't know if there is any more, and I really haven't been tasked or asked for more than already what I'm given. There are no requests for more, even with offers. It's like, hey, I'm willing to, do more, go further. Then we'll get back to you. So anyway, so this wood stove story, Dad, he sent me a message like 3 days ago now, which I haven't gotten back to because I did double check and it did say if you talk to your brother. It's like, well, I haven't talked to my brother, and so it's like I don't, I hadn't had plans to, but the message said, if you talk to your brother, could you ask him if he got the code for the wood stove update or whatever. And I don't, and it's like, no, I haven't talked to my brother in over half a year, and I haven't even sent him a text or received a text in a couple months, and I don't plan on it until closer to the holidays, and even then it won't be much. But I will be planning on physically visiting him for at least a week in January, if things go according to the plan, which we'll see. It doesn't require much of them. It's just whether I still feel like driving up there in the winter or not, which we'll see how the weather looks. And if the country is still here, you never know. And anyway, so the code is, computer coding for running a computer assisted programmed wood stove that is supposed to be like really, really efficient and well designed and insulated and just really, really high functioning, basically. And Dad's been working on it for, started probably at least probably 12, 15 years ago, I think. The first inceptions, maybe 20 years ago. And he's only produced a couple models. And he doesn't have very many out in the field in active use. But they do require some maintenance and testing. It's always with the testing. And anyway, like when he was first having these ideas for this wood stove, they would have, if they had been successful and brought them to market and developed the idea and gotten into contact with whoever you get in contact with, patent officials and things like that, to take a look at it, or I don't know how these things work. But it was his project, his idea. He's the engineer. He's the inventor. It's like, yeah, take it, do it, whatever. Um, he could have probably done something with it, but he just was, I don't know. He's a very weird person. Um, I don't know if he was looking for somebody else to do it for him. He didn't want to do the legwork. He didn't want to take the time to investigate. He just figured, somebody else would do it. I don't know. Or somebody would just discover how awesome this stove was and then insist that they do the marketing for him and sell it for him because he didn't want to sell it himself. Or do all the sorts of applications for licensings, and I don't know how that stuff works. But anyway, he just sat on it and just, built and distributed a few working models out into the field for testing purposes. And one of which ended up in my brother's house up in Wisconsin. And I was actually the one that, this was back when I lived in Wisconsin too. And probably around 2011 or 12, probably my second or third winter up there myself, it somehow became and I accepted, I don't even remember that, but I got to be the one to drive down by myself in my brother's Honda Element during winter, down to Indiana here, and pick up this wood stove that my dad had built and my brother was going to adopt and integrate into his house for heating purposes. They have a propane heating system, but this would be as a backup or to subsidize heating cost, so you wouldn't have to use as much propane. And supposedly it'd be more efficient and cost efficient, and anyway, cleaner. Well, cleaner as far as wood burning is, I guess. Anyway, it's supposed to be really efficient. And so I ended up that winter, because we were supposed to be told up in Wisconsin, when it's ready for pickup, send somebody to come pick it up and drive it back. And so Dad, he said, oh, it's ready to go. And just come down and pick it up and get it loaded up and off you go. And I drove down expecting to drive down, get it loaded in, drive back. One trip. And just within a quick turnaround. And I get down here and Dad was like, oh, it's not quite ready to go. It's probably got another 2-3 days of little kinks and glitches and stuff. And I was hoping to get your help with this and this. And I found that out 2 hours. I was still on the road and I was asking, so when I get there, can we just get it loaded in? And that's when I found out. And I thought about turning around. I'd already driven 7 hours. And I was probably still, I was still about 2 hours out. And I was so angry. Because I did not want to spend that much extra time with my dad in Indiana, because that would just interfere with my precious schedule. I had better things to do, mostly drinking at the time. That was my schedule. But anyway, so I got down here and we did the thing, and I pressed my dad to I'm only down here to pick it up. Is it ready? Is it ready? Is it ready? And and so I got the message across. It's we need to go. I didn't plan on being here for a couple days. And so we had it ready to go the next day. It was ready. He wanted to spend time, and he was using that as an excuse to. So at least that was my impression. So we had it ready to go the next day, and drove it back up to Wisconsin, and got it installed and everything like that. And since then, it's been 10 years, and Dad is still fidgeting with the code. the computer coding to, for it to, turn off and on the airflow and the regulation and the flaps and the venting and all sorts of little things that I have no idea about. And so it runs really efficient. As efficient as, we're talking in the percentiles here. Dad's looking at tenths of 1/10% efficiencies and getting it closer and fine-tuning it. But it's never been brought to market. No outside authority has ever investigated it to certify it or qualify it as being anything other than so there's no license. There's no oversight. Is it safe? Mm. But Dad is quite content to just sit on it and do nothing with it. For this longest time. But and he's always been interested in somebody else trying to sell it for him, because he doesn't want to do that. He wants somebody else to sell it for him. And so when we were out for my birthday, and it comes up every so often, like dropping hints and making, trying to imply, and and every, it's like, and I just, and I don't have any interest. I just don't. And also, I wouldn't be good at it, and I don't want to. So there's that. And so he was talking about, he was interested in trying to market this thing, and he was thinking about because some of his engineering pals have when they come up with stuff, they put it on their YouTube channel to show it off and to get other people in the field their reactions and comments and suggestions or whatever. And so my dad was interested in possibly doing that, but he doesn't know how to do it. And I mentioned that I had made a YouTube channel. Well, I've had one for the longest time, but I just never did anything with it. Since 2007, I've technically had a YouTube channel. Because back then I was planning on doing Let's Plays of video games, but I just never got around to it because of my schedule. And anyway, but I don't really know much about YouTube and how it works, or I only know how to record stuff and just put it up. I don't know any of the editing or software or formatting or anything that would make it attractive or marketable, and I don't really want to know. I just don't care. But for my dad's purposes, he would want something to look a certain way to I don't know, represent the product. I guess it is a product, and he would, I don't know. So anyway, it was as soon as my dad finds out you know something, then it's your responsibility to do that for him. Not teach it to him so he can do it for himself. No, he wants you to just do it for him. Like, now you're his person that knows how to do this, so now you owe it to him to do that for him. And so, but it's like, no, that's not how this works. You might have gotten away with that with a lot of people about a lot of things over a long time, but no, it's like I haven't given in a long time, and I just don't need to start. So I told him I'd teach him around Thanksgiving time when I'm over there, but I'm not making a special trip, and I'll just show him. It's like, yeah, if you've ever been on YouTube and you have a channel, you just don't know it. You have a login, and so I'll just, because I don't even remember how I got started. I just played around with it till I figured it out, and so it's like, my dad can fly a plane. He has a license and he can fly a plane. He does his own maintenance on his own plane. He can figure out how to run a YouTube channel. So I give him credit enough for that. If he can fly a plane, he can run a YouTube channel. So as far as all the editing and software, it's like, figure it out. That's how other people do it. So I'm not your answer guy. I don't even know how to do it for myself. And if he wants me to show him my channel to prove to him how just nothing it is, and it's just me just, but I won't, because this is for me. It has nothing to do with family. So, and it's private. So, anyway, so, and the wood stove, could it be a good idea? Yeah, 10 years ago, when the ideas were newer, when the market was fresher, and less people were looking at it. Now, I don't know anymore. The technology's gotten a little bit, other people have arrived at the same ideas by other methods. That convergence of evolution, of intelligent design, the evolution of the idea. Other people arrived. He was there ahead of time. He was there before it would have, and if he had done something with it then, it would have been, but now it's like, now it would look like he's borrowing from other people. Other people have arrived at his conclusions later, but they're taking credit for them because he never laid claim to his own ideas. So now, after the fact, it's like, it doesn't matter if he knows it, the market doesn't. The market doesn't care. It's whoever got the license or got the certification first. So government recognition or something like that. Like I said, I don't know how this works. But patents. So it probably will never go anywhere unless somebody like all of a sudden just, but no one's going to. No one knows how to build these things. And there's one person in the world who knows how. That's my dad. And he's not really keen on. It's never gonna go anywhere. And the information, the technology will just go away because I'm not interested. My brother's not interested, and there's no one interested. And I don't even know much about it. And I guess my dad he really needed to write it and to publish it. And, but he never did. As I don't know. So, I guess that's really it. It's not very interesting. And, but I guess I did need to talk about it a little bit because I plan on writing a story, I guess. Now it's like talking about it. It's like, is it even worth writing? Do I care? I don't know. The whole thing's kind of dumb. I think the most entertaining part of the story is, me driving down to Indiana to pick up a wood stove that wasn't ready yet. And then me being angry about it. Well, I mean, that's interesting because it involved me. And yeah. And but I guess the other part is, currently, him wanting my brother to get back in touch with him regarding the code update, and my brother's not been getting back to people recently, and I mean he'll get back to me in relatively quick time, but I rarely contact him. But when it comes to my dad, I don't know what the deal is there. I guess my brother's gotten tired of the pestering. Because my brother is the computer guy, and my dad has taken to using my brother as the computer guy. So anytime my dad has a computer problem, he goes to my brother to answer and solve his problems, which can take hours of my brother's time to troubleshoot and diagnose these problems remotely. And my dad cannot describe the problems very well, and it's a rabbit hole of difficulty. And my brother's just gotten tired of it over the years. And he's got other things to do. up there. He's got the family, he's got the job, he's got the wife, he's got the kid. And so, anyway. So Dad's feeling a little bit ignored. Well, anyway, it's family. So, and I feel like, I don't want to be the go-between between my brother and my dad. I shouldn't have to be. So I haven't responded. It's like, give them time. Maybe they'll work it out on their own. Have you heard from Jack? No. It's like, I'm not planning on talking to him anytime soon. It's like, and it's not really any of my business or concern. If it was that important, figure it out. So, anyway, and this is just an exercise. Don't mind me. This is me just trying to talk the story through. And I think I failed miserably because the story, I don't even know how to write it. It's just, there's too many things going on, and I don't know if it's worth it. Just to acknowledge it, I guess, maybe. That's it. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I will. I'm not beholden. Yeah. So, anyway, I guess that was the most interesting thing today. There's nothing else going on. Nothing. Yeah. It's kind of sad, but I guess it's kind of okay too. It's nothing I'm not used to. Just kind of meh. But a lot of times it's like, I probably could go for something different. And that would be okay too. So, anyway, I should go.